Welcome back, everybody, to the PW show on ChicagolandSportsRadio.com. I'm Josh. You can follow me on Twitter at JoshLopezCSR. And you hear the music. I think it's one of the baddest wrestling themes I've heard in a while. Joining us on the air is the AAW Heavyweight Champion, Shane Hollister. How you doing, man?
Not too bad, man. And that is the baddest entrance song you've ever heard.
Definitely. It's especially since Shane's one of my favorite wrestlers from AAW. Shane, obviously we know a little bit of your track record, almost about 10 years in wrestling, right?
Yes. So, it's about, I think January made it I think it was 9? January made it 9 years?
Dang, wow. That's awesome. Surprisingly, a lot of people who go here to the Illinois Center for Broadcasting trying to get their career started. Especially for me, I'm about to graduate soon in a month, and I'm starting to look to see what I could do as far as doing ring announcing or commentary for any promotions to get my career started as well. And getting to go to AAW shows over the last year. I mean, I got to watch a couple of DVDs over the years, but I wasn't a big fan at first. But getting to watch the shows, and surprisingly, the very first show I went to was Day of Defiance, and probably one of the best hardcore matches I've seen was you against Sami Callihan. And
that match won. I think that match was voted match of the year. Also, I think I just saw that for AAW. That was our last man standing. That was our blow off through our feud, and I felt that one for a few days afterwards.
I bet you guys almost killed each other. I thought you snapped your neck one the most in the match, but that's fine. Shane, of course, you've been champion. Of course, we had that little flop, the fluke with having Kevin Steen as the champion for a month, but you got it back. Now you're taking on Colt Cabana on the 28th, next Friday, in the Berlin Eagles Club. Colt, of course, being the national ambassadors for wrestling and possibly the governor here in Chicago. I'm really intrigued in this match. I'm sure you guys had matches in the past, but for the title, I think this one's going to be up there with the match you had with Sami.
It's going to be, I don't know if it's going to get that intense, but I'm going to treat it as such. Mm-hmm. Cabana's been around for a long time. He's somebody I look up to, and I was paying hard-earned money to drive 4 or 5 hours to watch shows that Cabana and Punk were on back in the day. So, he's a guy I look up to in this business quite a bit.
You brought up Punk, and I kind of see a little bit of similarities in your wrestling style with Punk. Do you have any opinions with this whole situation with him leaving? I don't think there's any facts to it, but just the talk of the day is Punk leaving WWE.
There's always the rumors of different things. There's the one rumor he left because of the whole thing with Batista, which, if that's true, I totally agree if that's the reason he left, because if you ask me, there's guys they bring back once in a great while, but it means they're worth money. When they bring back The Rock, he's going to bring money. He's going to bring money to the table no matter what. He's a big name. Outside of wrestling as well. With Batista coming back, he did, a few movies here and there, and he came back, and he wasn't, and he's just not good. He's just really not good. And for him to be in the main event at WrestleMania, I can understand a person in Punk's position to be very pissed off about something like that. I would be. Mm-hmm. I'd be irate. So, if that's the reason, I completely understand. And there could be the reason if he's just not happy with it, And when you're not happy with what's going on, don't be there. Don't put yourself through misery. If it's not making you happy anymore, don't do it,
Sure. Plus I think at the same time, in any case of any of the guys that are in the WWE right now, and you have guys like Brock or Taker or the Batista, of course, coming back now. I agree with Rock helping out with the product, and it's kind of the same thing with Brock Lesnar. Undertaker is a requirement for now for WrestleMania.
Oh, he's a mandatory for WrestleMania, man. Like, he is a mainstay until he is retired. They need to keep bringing him back to every WrestleMania because everybody's like, that's one of the main draws. Like, the main event may not even be the draw. It's like people want to see if Taker's gonna lose this year. You know, like, that's the big thing with he's the WrestleMania guy. He's never lost at WrestleMania. So, I mean, it's a huge deal.
Do you have a favorite Taker match from Mania besides any of the Shawn Michaels ones?
Oh, favorite Taker's match. I mean, I really, and I don't know. I mean, the two Shawn Michaels ones just take the cake for me because Shawn Michaels, he's like my favorite, man. He's like my favorite. He's like, Shawn Michaels is the end-all, be-all professional wrestling. If you do aspire to be anybody, it's a guy like Shawn Michaels.
Definitely. We're here on the PW show. Check out every Wednesdays, 10 to 1. This is not the show where you're going to have somebody complaining about wrestling for 4 hours. I educate you. And we're joined by AEW champion Shane Hollister. Really appreciate you coming on the air with me today. So, little transition to more AEW talk. At the Chaos Theory, the last show, it was announced that AEW is going to be starting sharing their shows on Roku on the Matty GTV channel. This caught me by surprise, and I couldn't be more happier because you guys put on a lot of great content. And Shane, how do you think this next move is going to really take AEW to the next level?
I just think that, like, I mean, this channel, from what I've been seeing, is like, it's a channel that's showed all over. Like, you know, like, I was reading that it's shown in UK and, like, all over the place. So I'm like, man, those are people who might not come across AEW in a DVD, or they might not have heard about AEW, you know, in other countries. So that's just going to be like, all right, AEW, like, the show's going to be like an hour long, I think, which is perfect because that still leaves room for fans to go out of their way to buy the DVDs, which is, in turn, more money to put in the machine of AEW. And, I mean, in turn, we're just going to keep producing some of the best wrestling in the Midwest, if not the best.
Yeah, especially, I like it's a 1 hour, and like you said, bringing intrigue to the DVDs, because when it comes to any AEW show, it's not just one show that you have to watch. There's always something different that you could check out with the DVDs, and a lot of great talent on the roster that you can't miss out any of the matches.
Yeah, man, it's like getting to the point where, I mean, it's hard when you walk around the back and, like, you're hearing the crowd go nuts at the very first match of the show. Like, people are going bananas. So it's like, I mean, obviously AEW is producing some of the best wrestling around. The crowd, we have a faithful crowd. There are some people who've been coming there since I was a year in the business, man. I swear there's this couple that sits in the same spot every show.
I think I might know which one you're talking about. But
they got the lime green shirt, yep. Man, the lime green shirt.
Yeah. Shane, you've been in Michael Elgin. You had a couple matches with Jimmy Jacobs so far, Eric Cannon. Is there anybody in the roster that you have not had a title match that you're really looking forward to have in this year?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking forward to the one with Cabana a lot, and I mean, I think a guy I got to start looking out for since he's on his own is I hope Kyle O'Reilly keeps coming around, because I think that's one guy I think I can get in the ring and throw down with, and I think we'd come out with a really, really good match.
Intriguing. I can't be remiss if I forgot the Eddie Kingston one, another crowd getter. You know, it's a unique fan base, because especially with the highlight package of the video intro before the show starts, the crowd gets nuts. Even the pre-show with Seaman and Moondog, the crowd's going nuts. For those who haven't watched an AEW show, it wouldn't be compared to any of the other independent shows, in my opinion, that would try to be like a remake of ECW. It's just wrestling. It's pure wrestling, redefined. There's no countouts, no disqualifications. Yeah, you guys have your backstage promos, but it's the best wrestling in the Midwest, and I really do recommend people checking it out.
I think it's a lot of like an homage to, you know, like early Ring of Honor style of wrestling, and then like we do have a little bit of promos and stuff like that. I mean, it's not ECW by any means because you don't have a lot of the blood and guts. I mean, that's a rarity for AEW actually.
Yeah.
But I mean, we do have a lot of like the scantily clad women running around like they did in ECW back in the day, which always is going to bring the perverts, which is still more money for the company. So, but I mean, it's really paying homage to, like, you know, just wrestling. Like you said, it's just wrestling redefined. Like, we want to put out the best pro wrestling around, and that's what AEW does.
So you've had this big rise so far in AEW this year. Multiple matches voted for the PWI Awards. Day Defiance, I think, was one of the ones voted for Show of the Year, up there even with some of the WWE pay-per-views. Do you have a set goal as far as trying to reach out to Ring of Honor or TNA or WWE in the next couple of years?
I mean, TNA, I just see so much great talent that they have that they don't utilize, which would be kind of scary, because I could get signed to a contract and not be able to do. I mean, a lot of guys can't even do indie stuff anymore, and then like that's good money they're missing out on, and they're not even being utilized. I mean, there's some great talent that is signed to TNA you don't even ever see on TV. So I mean, like it's. I mean, I guess it'd be a job, you know, it's a good place to sign, you know, get a job. But, like, right now, I would be honest, the place I really want to shoot for is Ring of Honor.
All right.
I mean, WWE, I mean, I got one of my best friends there. But from, you know, the stuff that they hear about Triple H not wanting to sign indie guys and the fact that the WWE just completely ignores the most over guy on television is, I think, like an inch shorter than me, and they just won't acknowledge it, is kind of frustrating as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the most over guy who's probably making the most merchandise sales besides Cena, they don't want to push. They don't want to put him in the limelight and make him the main event when he should be. So, I mean, I don't know. Like, stuff like that can be disheartening because I'm not a tall guy, man. I'm like 5'8". So,
I think you're tall as me, actually.
Yeah, like 5'8", I'm not a tall guy at all. Like, I'm a midget in the world of WWE. I'm a tiny man. So, like, it's disheartening. But, I mean, that's the end-all, be-all. I mean, that's where you want to be. You want to be in the WWE. You want to be making the money. You want to be living the life and traveling and only getting 2 days off instead of only wrestling 2 days a weekend, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's the life. That's what you want to do. But I mean, my reality goal to me is either doing some stuff in Japan, which I really could see happening, and, I mean, Ring of Honor, I think, is my next big step, and I'm really going to shoot for that this year.
That's cool. Whoever gets more exposure for you, I think you'll be up there soon. Shane, before we let you go, you have any last words for our governor here before you take him on?
The governor? You talking about Cabana?
Yep.
I just hope he's ready, man. I hope he doesn't come ready to tell me a bunch of jokes because this is no laughing matter. I mean, I'm definitely coming. I'm coming to win, and if he's going to step in my way, I hope he's ready to get ran down.
All right, cool. I really thank you for coming on the air with me today, and hopefully get to see you next Friday, and love to have you back on the show sometime.
Awesome, man. Sounds good. Thanks for having me.
All right, cool. That was Shane Hollister from AEW. Check out AEW's Path of Redemption next Friday at the Berwyn Eagles Club. And a great interview. I really enjoyed that. We'll have to head into commercial break, and we'll talk some more WWE and the WWE Network on the Pro Wrestling Experience at ChicagolandSportsRadio.com.